Do you know that Albert Einstein, who is most widely acknowledged to be one of the greatest and most influential physicists of all time, once said, and I quote, "The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library." Now, one will wonder why he had made such a statement. Why is it that the only thing you have to know is the location of the library? Well, it is no other reason but to put great emphasis on the tremendous impact of the library in the spread of knowledge. So with this, we will be driving the discussion in today's episode on the impact of libraries in learning institutions. Hello and welcome to another edition of The Insight from the studio of Thomas Adewumi University, Oko, Kwara State. I am your host, Habib Kayode Yaya. I am not alone in the studio today as I have a learned person with me, a library professional who is well skilled and versatile in the science and art of bibliography. Who could that be? Well, after this short break, I will let the bag out of the cat. That was a joke. I will let the cat out of the bag. Stay tuned.
Thinking of applying to a world-class university for your undergraduate programs? Thomas Adewumi University is your best choice. Our 2022/23 undergraduate admissions are still in progress.
Visit our website at www.tau.edu.ng to begin your application. You can as well call our admission hotline at 0905-3929-899.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the insight from the studio of Thomas Adewumi University. Allow me to introduce to you Mrs. Beatrice Kende, who is the Assistant Librarian and the Acting Head of Reader Service Division of Thomas Adewumi University Library. She will be giving us relevant insight into today's discussion, the impact of libraries in learning institutions. So, Mrs. Beatrice Kende, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
And how's work been?
Work is fine.
I'm really privileged and I'm delighted that you accepted our invitation to join us on this today's edition of the program.
It's my pleasure.
So we want to talk about the impact of library in learning institution, and we'll be talking about the roles library play in academic success. We're talking about OPAC and we're talking about TE library. But first, let's discuss what's the impact of libraries in learning institutions.
All right, thank you very much. Let me start by letting us know the historical background of libraries. You see, the oldest written records were kept on a clay in a cuneiform scripts, okay, which were found in the Sumerian Temple Hall as far back as 2600 BC. And these records made the first library history. So with this, since the middle of the 20th century, the libraries has evolved, from the historical way to their from the historical way to a place whereby businesses, religious, historical, and legal books are being kept, and also the records of civilization, which brought about the vast body of information, resources and services that do not actually need a building, which means when we're talking about library and information science, or the library as a whole, we are not actually talking about the four wall of the library.
The physical
space. The physical space. So we are talking about those information materials that are in it. So, and that will lead me to the definition of the father of librarianship. That's S.R. Ragnata, which defines a library as a public space, or a public institution or establishment, with the care. We showed us the care of the care of books and the duty to make them accessible to those who actually require the use of it. And we have different types of library. We have academic libraries, we have school libraries, we have national library, we have public library, and so on and so forth. So the academic library is the one we have in institutions, higher institutions, just like the one we have here in Thomas Adewumi University. Then the school library, we can find those ones in the secondary school, primary school, and special libraries are libraries by individual. Like we have most of our common library.
So I can just have a house and I decide to have a library. So that library is categorized under special library.
Exactly. You can categorize it under special library. So when we are talking about the impact, of library on academic performances or academic success, you see, library is an integral component of any institution. So, which means the importance of a library cannot be overemphasized in any institution. So, we have some the impact ranges from the time when students comes in to the library. You understand? So, it is the duty of every library to organize what we call library orientation, whereby information literacy instructions are being passed to the students, which will actually help them to accomplish their aim, their goals, why they are actually in school. In the school, because librarians generally we deals with dissemination of information. Okay, so when they come for the orientation, it's an eye opener for them. That's okay. So if I have an assignment and I can't do it on my own, I can
always go to the library
to consult a librarian. So it has a huge impact on the success and the high level performance of a student. Also, the use of usage of library also is it seems to increase the academic success and performances. When they use the library reference section.
Okay.
So in every library, we have different sections in the library. We have the reference section, we have the serial section, we have the acquisition section, we have the cataloging and classification section, which is under technical division.
I'm sure these sections are they are meant to facilitate the usage of that library.
Exactly. So in the reference section, these are a place where books, information materials are kept, like the encyclopedias, the dictionaries, directories, handbook, almanacs, yearbook, and so on and so forth. So when students comes to get to this information, most of them cannot be found in ordinary textbook, in ordinary handbook, in ordinary books. So we retrieve those informations for them, which will go a long way. Let's say directories, for example, someone that have not been to, let's say, Lagos State, or let's say Abuja. Let's just use within our domain here.
So with directors, they can actually know that,
I'm going to Kubwa.
These are the cities that exist in this particular settlement.
I'm going to Kubwa. How can I find my way there? What do they have there? How do I navigate my way around there? So you can see the beauty of the reference section in a library and how the library itself is impacting the performance and success of students. And also, one of the benefits is that, how it impacts students' performances is this: when they come to the library. So during the during the orientation program, we let them know that you can come with queries to the library. There's always a librarian. By
query, you mean question for the layman?
Exactly. Yes, sorry. Okay. I mean questions. You can come to the library, meet up with librarians, walk up to librarians. Please, I have a project to write. I have a research to write. I even need a research topic.
What are the resources I need? How do I get these books that we need?
So it is the duty of the librarian to provide those information resources for them. and make it accessible. So once they access it, easily, and they were able to find what the informations they needed, definitely the satisfaction is there.
Okay, I think from what you said, it's kind of portray the extent of which library is very powerful. And a lot of people just think library is a place where you just go and read. Now, coming from this angle you have already painted, it shows that it's more than that.
It is.
It assists students in the academic upkeeping, in their performance and everything. It's really good to know.
And it's not actually the students alone. The students alone are not involved in this, even the lecturers. And that is the reason why the library have to collaborate and partner with lecturers by getting information materials, textbooks, journals, articles, from them. And we also, which will also help the lecturers in their field, in their respective field, And, there are times that lecturers go to classes and instruct students, go to the library and search for this book. It's not as if the lecturer cannot actually give the students what they needed, but then you want them to broaden their knowledge.
Okay.
You want them to add to the existing knowledge they have and also to research. You understand? So the partnership with faculty members, the lecturers also assisted, the library in impacting the performance of the students and the lecturers also.
Now, okay, talking about you made mention of the research. We know that research has been the whole thing that's led to the evolution of the heads, the cars we have.
Yes.
All these things are product of research, and we know that without library, just like you have said that library is an integral part of an learning institution. So now let us connect research and library together. What's the connection, or what's the nexus between them?
Okay, let me say, without the library, research cannot happen, because at every point in time, you need to refer to a book. You need an information material or the other. It could be audio, and that is the reason why in every library, academic library, there must be an audiovisual department.
Okay.
So it could be audio, it might be video. So in every research, the role of a library cannot be overemphasized, because you will have to consult an information material. So you can see that it's just like without some. What example can I give now? What is it? Okay.
I say a car without wheels, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or you want to move a car without a fuel. So it is the library serve as a fuel to research.
Okay.
TAU library, that's Master Adewumi University Library. Aside the physical library, we also have the electronic library,
which is the
the e-library. So in the e-library, we have about 80 computer systems. Then in the ICT department, we have over 200 computer systems. So you can see that with or without a librarian, we have trained our students in such a way that they can go. They have their password and their username. They can go and do their research on their own.
I think we'll be talking about OPAC.
Okay.
Can you enlighten us on what is OPAC, the functionality in the library and the advantage?
Okay, I was actually going there where you actually came in. And you see, when people hear OPAC, some just know the acronyms and it hangs there. I want to let you know that it's beyond just the acronyms. So the acronym, the OPAC, which is OPAC, is an acronym for Online Public Access Catalog.
Online Public Access Catalog. I think the people get that. Online Public Access Catalog. So for people now, I think we have taken the first puzzle out. Now, when you hear OPAC, it's not just, they've told you that OPAC is Online Public Access Catalog. So let's move on with that. Okay, so and it was established in 1975. Okay, but as times goes on, as technology evolves, there was a drastic change.
You understand? So OPAC is actually a database, okay, for bibliographic details, for getting or installing bibliographic details of information materials to make it accessible and user-friendly to the library patrons. So
by bibliography, I want to, the people we are addressing might not know about bibliography.
Okay.
But by bibliography, you mean books or materials, resources?
Okay, what I meant by bibliographic details are what actually made up a book.
Okay.
Like the author.
Okay.
They are like elements of a book. Let me put it in a simpler form. They are elements of a book. We have the author, the date of publication, the ISBN, the year of publication, the place of publication, the serial numbers, okay, let me put it that way. Let me put it another way. Pagination, that is number of pages.
Okay.
Does this book have pictures? How many pictures? We call that plates. You understand? So with the help of this OPAC, it has assisted librarians to move from the manual way of cataloging and classifying information materials. When I mean information materials, it doesn't necessarily to be books only. It's not limited to books only. So it assisted librarians, okay, to get all these details uploaded on the OPAC interface, whereby with little or no assistance of a librarian, a user, a library patron or a library user can walk into the library, go to the OPAC stand, look, once you know the title of a book you are looking for, you are good to go. Or let's say you know the ISBN of the book you are looking for, you are good to go. Or you know the author's name of the book you are looking for, then you are good to go. So the OPAC is like a workstation for library patrons.
Oh, so I have a question. The way you explain it is quite comprehensive. But my question is that OPAC like a library? Like the way you explain it now is more like a place where you can go and identify whatever you want to use. Maybe you have a book you want to read and you put the ISBN or the page number or the author and it brings the book out. Now from that OPAC, can you actually access the book?
Yes.
Okay.
You can access the book on the OPAC. There are different things that you can do on it. Okay. You can retrieve the books you want from the OPAC. You can borrow books, like we call it charging and discharging of books. It can happen on it. Okay. So it's just like moving from the traditional way of library routines, to a digital era.
Oh, that's good to know. So, for example, in a very, let's say, a huge library, instead of you going around to maybe the reference section of the catalog to get a book, for OPAC, you just have to enter any of those details like you listed, metadata, and the book is in front of you. And
let me give you a scenario.
So every book coming from maybe book or any resources coming from OPAC, they are purely electronic.
They are purely electronics and easy to retrieve. Okay. There are times that students will come to the library and say, this book is too big for me. It's too heavy for me. I don't want to be taking it on and on. Okay, can you allow me? Okay, don't worry. Go to the workstation. Look for the book you want.
Can it be accessed from anywhere and from any device
anywhere
at any point in time?
Anywhere.
Okay, so I can be in Canada, and if I can be in Canada and I need I need to enter to Adewumi University Library, let's say the OPAC, and with the OPAC system, I can actually have access to any of the books or resources.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
So the student can access it online or on campus or off campus. And that is the reason why we always encourage them, both the students and the lecturers, to come for library registration. With the library registration, you have your username and your password, which will give you access to the books. And also in TAU, Thomas Adewumi University Library, we have our electronic portal again. We call it ebook portal. So you can access any books. We upload, sizable collections of books there. We have the shelves there, so you just go to the course you want or the department you want, you retrieve the book, you can download. If you don't want to download, you can read on it. So there are two options to it. Is either you read from the interface or you download and leave the interface. So that's the beauty of.
Wow, that's amazing. That's good to know. As Mrs. Beatrice has enlightened us, the OPAC, we now have a deep and insightful comprehension of what OPAC is and the impact of library in learning institutions. I say you should have said it all, and it's beautiful that you have enlightened us. Now, I think to capture it all, give us a kind of, let me say, expression or virtual tour of what we are expected to see in Thomas Adewumi University Library.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I'm so excited to answer this question. You know why? Because the Thomas Adewumi University Library has tried a lot, to make sure the students and the lecturers are comfortable, using the facility. Okay. So, like I said earlier on, we take our time to upload sizable collections of books on the e-portal and also on the online public access platform. So, which helps students to add to their existing knowledge. To add to their existing knowledge, we have the physical library, we have the e-library. So if you don't want to stay in the e-library, or you don't want to undo hardcover, you can use the online copy. Electronic library, And also, there is TAU Library is actually looking at creating a space. We call it a group discussion space.
Okay, so students can come around.
Exactly, because study shows that when you are able to say things, when you read and you're able to
discuss it,
to say it in your own words, and you have someone to share with, it promotes retention.
Okay, it
promotes a long term memory storage and retention, of which TAU Library is trying as much as possible to make the students comfortable and
enhance the retention space.
So we're looking at creating a discussion space whereby they can come in groups without disturbing others. Have a discussion group. What have you learned? Okay, can you explain this to me? And we believe that we actually enhance their performances.
Thank you so much for coming. And if you are just you've been listening to the assistant librarian, and what's the other position? You also are the
acting head of reader service.
Okay, acting head of reader service division. So you've been listening to her, and we've gained a lot of insight when it comes to the impact of library, and that's what we'll be rounding up today's show on. The insight. Okay, so but before we go, let us have words of conclusion. For those people that maybe they're just joining us now, or for people that want just, what is the take home on all this topic? Just give us a conclusion, the take home on all this. All
right. I would like to buttress more on the TAU, that's the Thomas Adewumi University Library. It provides quality information, quality information and the best services its users, which reflects the image of the library itself. Okay. And a study shows that 90% of users who visit the library and uses the library resources frequently are satisfied, with the library services. And this level of satisfaction actually shows that library plays a vital role in the academic excellence and its improvement in their final grades.
Wow.
Thank you.
In essence, without library, students will become Olodo. Yes, definitely. And without library, the university's the university's mission of pushing the academic performance of students will be will not be able to be. It will be impossible.
It will be impossible.
So,
That's the word.
thank you so much once again for the relevant insight on the theme of discussion. What is opaque? Put it on the comment line. Just meet me in the comment line. Let's talk about that. We have come to the end of the show. On behalf of the founder and co-founder, the governing council, the vice chancellor, management, staff, and students of Thomas Adewumi University, I say have a great day and thanks for watching. See you in the next edition. Bye.